My name's Carmen. Today we've got a reading for you about someone who feels like they have to hide behind material things. They don't have that natural confidence or, there's this insecurity that they've kind of let develop over time. It has led to some issues with regards to how they interact with people in emotional situations because they do have a fear that they're going to be rejected or abandoned, and they know that they lashed out at you. So they're hoping that at some point you could forgive them, but they're also hoping that they just kind of like randomly run into you. They look for you everywhere. This person misses you, but I don't know if they really have a good way to express that or intentions of communicating that information to you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Let's see what else we've got. I think we're going to dive in with, we'll go with the Marseille Cat Tarot. What else do we have about this person who looks for you everywhere? Okay, actually, hold one second. I didn't realize that I didn't turn on the fan, and it's going to get hot in here if I don't do that. All right. Let's see. I'm back. Sorry, guys. What else do we have? We have the Hermit in the reverse, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, and the Three of Pentacles. Learning a lesson about one's own need to heal or work on something through the connections that we have with others. Eight of Swords in the reverse. This would normally, like in the upright, you got somebody who's got blindfolds, right? So, well, a blindfold. So removing that blindfold and enabling this person to realize, hey, maybe I've had issues in previous connections or like many connections because of how I do this thing, because of how I prioritize this, or because of how I invalidate people's emotions, whatever it is. They're looking within or looking in the mirror and acknowledging that there have been multiple people that have had a problem or got frustrated with them for a particular behavior or situation that could have been avoided. Hello, how's it going, Danny? I hope you're having a good day. So we've got this Three of Swords in the reverse. They want to make amends. Seven of Cups in the reverse. And the King of Wands. The only way I can fix the situation that I have with you is if I leave no confusion between us. In other words, I have to take action. I have to communicate. I have to figure out what your situation is. Like, are you single? Do you still think about me? But most importantly, they feel like they have to demonstrate that they can act differently, you know? Because we had the I hide behind material things, we could have some element of not really having appreciated the, I don't know, the kind of like simple things in your relationship, or maybe even not having enough time. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse and the Devil. They made a decision that they regret. They made a decision with the assumption that you probably would leave me anyways. So I can't prioritize you because I'm not really convinced that you would prioritize me. Hello, Benjamin. How are you doing? Hello, Black Lion. What's going on? Hello, Winston. Ooh, sorry, guys. I know. I should be drinking water. I actually have some right there, so don't worry. Three of Cups in the reverse. Oh, really? Three of Cups in the reverse. I don't really like that. This feels to me like someone who tried to make it seem that you are not supportive of what they needed to do, because this is all underneath the I hide behind material things. It feels to me like we have somebody who may have tried to make it seem like you were making it difficult for them to actually do their job, make it difficult for them to get done what they needed to get done. You're like a barrier, an obstacle, or, you know, I have things that I need to do and they're very, very important. How dare you ask me to like spend a whole hour with you today? You know, something along those lines. Not wanting to prioritize time with you or the type of time, right? It could even be I spend time with you, but I'm on my phone the entire time because I have to make as much money as possible, right? So we have the Knight of Wands, the Moon, and the Emperor. I feel like this was somebody who kind of made it seem like their schedule was more important, or their priorities were like what needed to decide when whatever happened, when I see you, when, you know, we go on a trip or whatever. This would have been someone who might have been a little bit controlling or a little bit unwilling to demonstrate the same kind of support of your pursuits as you were expected to show of theirs. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. And the Five of Cups. Okay. I was wrong. This person is thinking I was wrong. I thought I was right. I thought I was like, I don't know, smarter, or, you know, I expected that it wouldn't really be that big a deal. More important thing is, can I make more money? Can I get more promotions? Can I get more raises? Can I get a better living situation? Whatever it is, they were focused on the material things. And maybe they felt like their lack of compassion or support towards you was justified or allowed because, oh, I'll, you know, buy you something nice. So this is someone who may express their emotions through purchases or gifts, but struggle with the emotional like expression, like telling you whether or not they're in love, whether or not they want a relationship, feel about. Ooh, that's a problem. No, sorry guys. I probably blocked out the screen there. It was trying to connect to my AirPods and I feel like that would be an issue. That's an interesting question. How's it going, Bug? Hello, HM. How are you doing? We've got the Ten of Swords and the reverse. This is the Weird Cat Tarot, by the way. And we also have the Seven of Swords. I just love this card. So it's called the Weird Cat Tarot, right? So most of the cards have cats on them, except for the Seven of Swords, which has an adorable little puppy with like mask pretending to be a cat, which is such a great interpretation of a card that is meant to be about deception. So we have somebody here who wanted to make it seem like, I feel like they wanted to make it seem like they were loyal or they were a good partner. But the reality is that they would leave things untended to. So if we got into an argument, oh, you know, like I'll buy you something or I'll say something nice or whatever, but like it's never really resolved. It may in fact come back and have another problem or start another argument. Hey April, how you doing today? Hello Jimmy. Hello Jay. I'm doing well, thank you Jimmy. Thank you. Hello user N1008E. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say the whole thing, sorry. We've got the Magician and Justice in the reverse. Yeah. We've got someone who feels like they can rush in, and even though they didn't take something seriously or didn't, you know, do right by a promise, maybe they don't show up on time for dinner reservations, maybe they don't show up for your performance. Maybe you're like an actor or a musician. This is like, I know I don't do things right. I know I don't show you that you're important in ways that you would want. But hey, it's okay because I bought this for you, or hey, it's okay because I, paid that off for you. I don't know. They use those material things to justify the not so great behavior in a relationship. What else? Knight of Cups in the reverse, Ten of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, Six of Wands, and the Six of Swords. Okay. So we've got someone who feels like extra moody, frustrated. They feel like things are unresolved in a way where it actually bothers them. They might leave things unresolved because they don't want to get in trouble, but now they feel like they're unresolved in a way where they still don't get what they want. With the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, Six of Wands, and the Six of Swords, this is someone who thought, if I just focus on my job, if I just like try to ignore that I miss this person, if I just make a little bit more money, everything will be fine, right? Six of Swords is about moving into calmer waters. They envisioned it as, you know what, if things don't work out, okay, that's fine, but at least I still have this, or, this is what's really important. People come and go. I don't think they feel that way anymore. I think now they're like, dang, I actually like miss you. I didn't anticipate that I would miss you, but I do. Hello, Burn family, what's up? Oh, thank you. And from the cats too? You tell them I said meow. Hopefully that's not a swear word in cat that I don't know about. Queen of Wands in the reverse, Two of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Is this person trying to say they decided to like go out and flirt and find, I don't know, a one-night stand or something? Because it feels to me like they're looking at this as, I thought I could find another person. I went on a dating app, or I went out to the bar, or I decided to go out on this like blind date that someone set up for me. And it just didn't feel the same. It wasn't fun. I didn't like it. I thought about you. It made me feel bad. It made me feel like I was cheating on someone. I'm not even with this person. It's like they're having an argument in their mind, right? Like, this should be fun. Why isn't this fun for me? This is stupid. Why isn't this fun for me? I don't like this person. Ugh. I want to be with that person. What am I doing here? They're frustrated because they did not expect to feel this pull back to you, knowing that they kind of messed it up. Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups in the reverse. So I thought I could find someone else. Two of Pentacles, okay, so I don't have you anymore, but that person's attractive. Let's go hang out with them. Oh God, have you heard them talk? Ooh. It's like, no, it doesn't, it's lightning strikes. It definitely does more than once, a moon, right? But they were expecting to find something that would be exciting and fun for them after the two of you stop talking, and everything is just like paling in comparison to you. Like, I don't want to waste my time with this person. They're not funny. They're not whatever, right? They don't understand my jokes, or they whatever. They're thinking about how you compare to the people that they've tried to like pursue. I chuckle when I say pursue because I do feel like this is somebody who's kind of like inaccessible. Like, I'll let you know that I'm single. I'll, go out, but I'm not going to like let you think that you have me emotionally invested, right? So we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse and the Eight of Wands. The lack of your presence or not being able to have access to you has made it particularly like crystal clear for this person. Eight of Wands, I feel like this is a fast realization. Like, I undervalued that person. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to find somebody that makes me feel the way that person did. And it's not going to be easy for me to duplicate that, if at all. So they're kind of getting frustrated with their own plan, which was, you're just too demanding. I'm going to focus on myself, make some more money, and then they'll like find some diversion. Some person who's, you know, at least attractive, but I can tolerate. And they're literally out here saying, I don't tolerate these people. I don't like these people. King of Swords in the reverse. I think they're starting to realize they kind of lied to themselves about how they felt and what they wanted in terms of your connection and what that meant for how they should behave towards you, because they didn't do that. They didn't prioritize you or perhaps express those emotions. With the King of Swords and the King of Swords in the reverse, there could be some heavy air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But also someone who's coming through is a little bit more analytical and less likely to be like writing you poems, right? Morning, Matt. How you doing? We've got the Lovers in the reverse and the Queen of Cups. So nothing compares to you. A little Sinead O'Connor playing in the background. They've tried. Sorry, that's my chair. I fidget a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I can't help it. This is like, well, I probably could somehow. Someone who realizes I feel this magnetism or this pull, and it probably is actually love, or it probably is an acknowledgement that this is a person that I could fall in love with if I didn't already. And that's why I'm finding it so obnoxious to spend time with other people. That's why I'm comparing all of these people to that person that I'm no longer with or that I'm in no contact with, you know? Hey, HM, I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. Hello, Mud. How's it going? And we're at about 17:17 when I said that, minutes in. Hello, Grace. How are you doing? We got the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Devil, and the Four of Cups. So this feels to me like I have to communicate because I know that I'm the reason things went south, and I really can't imagine myself with someone else. I made a decision too quickly and wanted to pretend that I wasn't in love or didn't want you in my life, but like has to like basically come crawling back with tail between their legs, right? Sorry. I made a mess of it. And now I'm out here trying to date people and all of them just make me mad because they're not you, you know? So can we talk? They would love it if they just ran into you accidentally, right? Or, hey, I'm going to this grocery store just in case, because then maybe I will actually run into you kind of thing. Their hope, that would make it easier, right? Because they're nervous. If I message you, will you actually respond? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse says maybe there's a chance here that you already see this as a lost cause. Maybe you would reject them even if you didn't have someone else in your life. Good morning, Lee. Thank you. For tomorrow, I got you. And thank you for the tip. Yeah, that could be a somewhat impossible task to run into you, right? So we've got the Nine of Wands in the reverse. A person who's realized they have to pull down those walls or open up, actually be vulnerable to you, or they're not going to get anywhere. Thank you, Stephanie. How are we doing today? Let me add that for you. FN feelings and next actions. Awesome. I've got that for you. So we've got the Ten of Swords. This is a person who feels like as it sits, you will probably never see each other or never talk to each other again. And yet they can't stop thinking about how they messed up, how they need your forgiveness, how they failed to show you that more emotional side or let you actually connect to them. Maybe they even kind of like made you feel bad or small, right? About showing your emotions, kind of minimized it. But they recognize now this was not the right way to go. Because what they did was push away what they would actually want for a long-term relationship, only to find that their desire to connect with others right now is hampered by just wanting to be with you, you know? So we have the Five of Swords, self-sabotage, King of Swords in the reverse. I pretty strongly feel like there's some air sign energy here, with how often we've, towards the end here, gotten this King of Swords in the reverse energy. I feel like I've lost out on what could have been a really great relationship if only I had been willing to show this person how I feel, or prioritize them, or give them the time of day. Make sure that they felt like, you know, they had an actual connection with me, instead of keeping them at arm's length or making sure that they didn't have any insight into my emotions. So now we have the Tower in the reverse. Someone who's wondering, can I like repair this? If I approach things differently, if I have a different perspective, if I change my behavior, would you actually like reconsider things? Would I have a chance at another chapter? Or have you already decided to, you know, move on? Like, I'm out of here. Deuces. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Are you talking about me, Mud? Or are you talking about your person? I would assume you're talking about your person, but I do have the right boots for it. Hello, James. How you doing today? Yes, of course. Do you have a question you want me to do as well? Because I'm happy to do that. Hello, man. Oh, what do you think? Yeah, that's a strange way to analyze that. Where do you think I would be praying to? All right, well, I got you, James. And if anyone else wants to send some protective energy towards James, whoever's out there, that would be appreciated. All right, what else do we have? We have Beast, number 33, conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, and oppressors. The Stand, number 40, courage, determination, and fearlessness. So they feel like you have some like boldness here, or some ability to make change when you need to. They felt like they could win in an argument with you. Let's be clear. This is someone who felt like you were maybe calling them out, or you had a point and they didn't like it. You were pointing out something that was unfair, or that they, you know, maybe a flaw in their argument, and they were like, how dare you? I'm not gonna lie, this looks to me like somebody didn't respect you enough to treat you the way that you should have been treated. They felt like they could like lay down the law, or this is how things are, or, you know, I'm like older than you, I'm gonna teach you how it goes. And you're like, no. How about no? What I'm seeing in my mind is, have you ever seen like tiny little kittens act super ferocious, even though they might be like the tiniest thing in the room? Maybe you are smaller than this person. Maybe you're younger than this person. Maybe this person is just a little bit full of themselves. But they felt like they could kind of like puff their chest out a little bit, tell you that's how it was, and you would be like, oh, okay. But instead you're like, no, that's not right. I did some research, and see what I found was you're wrong in this place, and also when you said this right here. And I can cite the following 4 sources. And they were like, what? I'm not used to being called out before. What do you mean? I haven't been wrong since 1997. This person probably ran away from you because you called them out, because you were not willing to deal with their BS, or because you were a little bit smarter than they thought you were. So they don't really like that, or they didn't. And now they're thinking back on it and they're like, that's actually kind of attractive. Maybe I need someone in my life like that. So we have Nest, number 41, charity, generosity, sharing, and support. Maybe when you love somebody, the way you treat them is by actually being honest with them. Maybe that person was just being real. Maybe it wasn't meant to be like combative. I think they see the argument or the conversation that you had very differently now than they did when it happened. And they're seeing things a little bit more clearly from your perspective. They just needed a little bit of time to fully appreciate the caliber of person they were dealing with. And sometimes that means go out on a couple of really bad dates. Suddenly, you looking really good. You know? All right, this is the Kipper. Yes, I agree. You should be able to shout it from the mountaintop, right? So this is the Kipper. First card out is the false person. Do you want to date a false person? I don't want to date a false person. False person because, well, number 1, what was the first card? I hide behind material things. They don't feel comfortable being themselves and feeling loved as who they authentically are. So they have to make sure that they make enough money. They have to like present this particular like facade or wear a little bit of a mask because they want people to see them as more valuable than they feel. Look, real confidence doesn't have to brag about like expensive shoes or purses or cars or whatever, right? Real confidence comes because you're able to actually understand who you are and negotiate life with respect to that, right? They may have realized what they really value in a relationship because they lost you. We have this official person card. This is somebody who feels like they have some level of power. I'm smarter than most people, or I have this really important job, or I have a lot of money. There's something here that is not like central to who they are that they feel is kind of like a reason to be able to win every argument. But especially if this person feels pretty consistently that they're the smartest person in the room, I can tell you right now, that's a real quick way to guarantee that you are never the smartest person in the room. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, you never feel like you have anything to learn. And I'm a firm believer that you can learn things from a 5-year-old. Sometimes it's just about perspective, right? This is someone who has learned something from you after, for a very long time, they felt like they were smarter than you. And that was humbling for them. So there's that wealthy card. So this could be somebody who felt like they had some sort of edge over you as far as their professional career or their financial stability, their intelligence, their education level. But now they're feeling in despair because they let that dictate how they treated you, and that was not wise. Now they're wishing that they had shown you more of a softer side or been more emotionally available. Yeah, I feel like this is someone who's like, well, I got everything set up. I got everything that I need. I'm a very attractive partner. Does not need to be a man, right? Even though we keep seeing like wealthy man or like King of Swords, this could be anybody who is a little bit cold, a little bit too focused on, ooh, I've got to work all the time. You know, I'm working on becoming a millionaire, and if I buy you this car, you can forget that I didn't call you yesterday, right? No, we have somebody who's decided to move, maybe actually move physically location wise, or move on as far as their romantic life. And it's upsetting to this person, this King of Swords, that might mean they have actually lost out on the person they feel like they could have a very happy relationship with. I feel like at this point they're looking at it as we could be like a power couple, or we could be, you know, Bonnie and Clyde, right? They think that there's something about you that is on level with themselves after previously feeling like they were above you. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's just like I've realized you are also smarter than everybody else in the room. Or if they finally realized, hey, maybe I need to stop assuming that I'm always the smartest person in the room. And I'm hoping it's that other one, right? The second one. Games, playing games just to keep your attention. So they felt like they could kind of breadcrumb you or keep you on board or excited or interested or maybe even in a relationship if they did like the bare minimum. Forgiveness. Forgiving will benefit this relationship. They are hoping that you are willing to forgive them, and they also view you as a soulmate. The question is, I feel like for some of you, if you see this soulmate card, which says you are connecting with a soulmate in the present, I feel like more of you would be like, yeah, Carmen, I'm in no contact with that person. The person who is my soulmate is somebody else, not that no contact person who thinks that I'm their soulmate. So we could have some of you that view this person from your past as a soulmate, and forgiveness is on the table. And if they're going to act right, then you're like, okay, let's try this. But I think for most of you, this is somebody who's still stuck on you. They view you as the one that got away. They realize that they need to be a little bit more humble or a little bit more respectful towards their partner. And you may be meeting somebody else or falling in love with somebody else. Ooh, yeah. I feel like you are either about to fall in love with somebody else, or you are in the process of falling in love with somebody else, and this person from your past is thinking about you a lot, trying to manifest you, and maybe even finds out that you're connecting with somebody new. But they're going through this like dark night of the soul or ego death, realizing the things that they felt made them a valuable partner. Yeah, they might be great on paper, but they need to be able to actually emotionally connect to somebody and show a person that they are, you know, important or emotionally valuable, right? Instead, this was somebody who wanted to be able to like brag about having you, but not actually do right by you. That's a little rough. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in a relationship. I see them once a week. It's great. Doesn't sound like a relationship. Oh, let's get started on those personal questions. We're gonna start with, we'll go with the Morgan Greer. And we've got Lee and then Stephanie. What does Lee need to know about tomorrow, please? What does Lee need to know about tomorrow? We've got the Five of Cups in the reverse, the Knight of Cups, Six of Wands. I feel like we have someone who's overly confident that they're going to be able to do what they want. I'm feeling like I don't have any regrets. I did what I had to do. Nine of Swords. But this is somebody who may be a little bit overly confident. Nine of Swords, Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups. Why the Nine of Swords? Strength. I feel like this is overconfidence. I think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of something, or I think I'm going to be able to like describe what I need to, and then people will leave me alone, or, you know, it'll be easy for them to believe me. This is still leaning towards somebody speaking up about a situation that someone feels they can lie about. Is this about switching sides, changing allegiance? Hermit in the reverse. I feel like this is more so about somebody, because somebody spoke up probably your ex's soon to be ex or like current ex, right? Then we had somebody start to look into something that they wouldn't otherwise have looked into. So I feel like there's someone who's able to contradict something your ex has said. There's clarity here now because of the end in his relationship. So this could be a lawyer, this could be like an investigator, but we have somebody who has information that I feel like contradicts what he has said. Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Tiana. How we doing? Hello, Holy Ghost. I'm wishing you luckily. I hope everything goes very well, and I also hope you get the information that I know you still need or should have, right? All right, let's see what we've got for Stephanie. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. What are FM's feelings towards Stephanie, please? We have the Empress in the reverse, the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, this feels to me like someone's holding back, not wanting to be emotional. I don't want to invest. I don't want to want something. Based on this expression, it's like I gotta keep to myself, or I've gotta like protect myself. Nine of Swords, Strength in the reverse, Five of Swords. This person is prone to sabotaging relationships. Or they see you this way. But I feel like this is saying this person is holding back their feelings. They don't want to have feelings towards you. They're worried about things going wrong. They're anticipating things being negative, and maybe unfairly so, right? But I don't see a lot of hopeful energy or like communicative, right? Hey, Redbeard, how you doing? Hello, Coral, what's up? Ooh, Lord. Hello, Scammy. Thank you for the tip. So one thing to keep in mind, Scammy, is there could be a little bit of a twin flame vibe if there is a need for we meet and then we learn some things, need a little bit of separation. But yeah, in general, I would say if we're trying to like change people's beliefs, that can get a little bit dicey in dating. What should I do? All right, I'm adding that for you. And thank you, Scammy. Oh, yeah, totally. I absolutely agree with that. So what about next actions from FN, please, towards Stephanie? The Moon, secretive energy. The Hierophant, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. I do think this is somebody who is going to talk about what they want, or maybe even like kind of think about how things would be if you were in a relationship, talk about like a new beginning or things of that nature. But this is somebody who's hiding something from you. So maybe a little bit of like trying to figure out what you expect, but also being very hesitant. King of Cups, Three of Swords. I think this person just expects there to be a heartbreak. So it's like, I don't know if I should really invest too much, right? Oh, hello, Apurva. May I ask that you put your question in with the super chat, please? Oh, yeah. Let's see. I don't know how I'm supposed to, can I call you Noten? How are you doing? Hello, Nani. Yeah, we also have to be respectful, right? I've got that added for you. Thank you, Apurva. And if you don't mind putting that in the super chat, that would be helpful forward or going forward. Yes, as long as there's good intentions. I think sometimes we have a little bit of judgmental. Holy Ghost, come on, be respectful, bro. Maybe I just got nice hair, okay? Negative. All right. So I would be cautious, Stephanie. It does feel to me like there is intent to be a little bit misleading with what FN actually wants, because this is someone who's expecting a heartbreak. Oh, hold on, let me get that written down. Thank you, Stephanie. With the number 2 boss leaving, what does this mean for me? Let me add that for you. What does that mean for me? Awesome. I've added that. Thank you, Stephanie. Let me see. We've got James, just a quick reminder that I'm going to be doing a prayer for you after this reading. And if anybody's able to send some positive healing energy towards James at this time, I would very much so appreciate that. We've got Skemmy, who needs to know about if she's trying to change my beliefs, what should I do? What should Skemmy do? What does that mean, Apurva? Is flexi? Yeah, no, it's a lot. I'm gonna probably just make it a requirement because I do have to have like visibility on it. It almost went off the table. Well, you guys, look, we've got somebody here who is definitely thinking about the long term, Skemmy. But I also feel like kind of inflexible on this point. So lots of earth energy. I don't know if she's Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. We have Page of Pentacles, King of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I do feel like this is maybe like a requirement, but is this going to be something that she always feels? No. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. So I do feel like there is some potential growth here regarding how to live, like coexist, right? To have that you can believe what you believe and I can believe what I believe, right? Thank you, Tiana. Hello, Tejas, how are you doing? I know, Apurva, that's just gonna have to be how it is, though. I also need to make sure that I'm not spending too much time searching for him, so just please make sure it's in the super chat. Yeah, I think we've got some, how do I say this? It's kind of looking, I don't like telling people to think of a connection as twin flame if they haven't identified it as such to me. But it has echoes of that where it feels like there's like We get to know each other. We might have a little bit of an argument. We think about things we have to process on our own a little bit, and then we come back together. Things are different. I feel like there's enlightenment here that happens as a result of the fact that there are some key differences between the two of you. It's like you're unlike anybody that she's met, and she's unlike anybody that you've met, and that's by design, right? Let's have some exposure to some other ways of thinking. Let's challenge ourselves as far as, is this how I really feel? Is this what I really want? But it does mean with the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse that there's going to be some moments where you're like, this might not be really what I want, or I might have to like walk away from this. So that's why I feel like it is similar to, but please do not let anybody such as myself tell you who your twin flame is when you've literally just met. You know, like, this is just saying there are things that you can learn from each other. There are things that you each might have a little bit more like rigid or structured perspective of when it comes to relationships that may get challenged in the context of your connection. Okay. I hope that helps, Skimmy. Thank you. All right, let's see. Where did I leave the little... Oh, there you are. Let's see what we have for Apurva. If that is animal missing me or someone else. Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands in the reverse, and the Eight of Cups in the reverse. I feel like right now it's more of a tendency towards thinking about what animal needs, right? And yes, I think there's consideration regarding what you've got going on. Okay, thank you, Nat Nat. And my condolences on that, but I am happy to get a message from him. So Apurva, it feels to me like there's just this, I don't know if I should think, because anytime I think about this, I just get reminded that this is going to be something that I can't really have success in, that I don't see any way of it working. But there is this repeating thinking, and then, nah, I can't do anything about that. What about missing someone else? More so thinking about someone where things went poorly as well. So yes, misses you from time to time, feels guilty about it. And yes, there is also someone else that animal feels like things went south, things didn't go very well. But with the Ace of Pentacles, there may be some reason to feel that there is a way to recover that or improve or reconcile on that situation. All right, let's see what we've got for Stephanie. We've got number 2, boss is leaving. How is that going to impact Stephanie? What does that mean for Stephanie? What does that mean for Stephanie? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Cups, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So it feels to me, Stephanie, that you already might question whether or not that jeopardizes your situation. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Eight of Cups, makes me feel like you look at it as, this could be something that means I need to like look for something else. I need to you know, apply elsewhere. Because with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, I don't know if you just don't like this person's leadership style, or if you feel like they might lay off, you know, your team or people that are important. I feel like there's this intelligent observation that sees that this departure is potentially going to cause problems for you or your team. And I feel like that's pretty perceptive. I don't feel like the leadership that remains appreciates the work that goes into what is currently going well, or, you know, being balanced. So I feel like you might expect there to be some issues, and that the other people might be like blissfully unaware that there might be some issues. So if you're contemplating looking for another job, I would advise you to do so. With the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, it feels to me like there's either going to be mismanagement and therefore there's less like revenue coming in, maybe customers that are being lost, or you know, like money that's going down the drain because there isn't that expertise or that leadership or that guidance that needs to happen. And could also mean that there are some people that get fired or laid off. This is like, I just don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to probably try to save some money, and then I'm probably going to have some consequences that I didn't anticipate. Thank you, Coral. Let me add that for you. And Stephanie, I hope that there is a like strong path ahead of you that seems to be pretty reliable. But yeah, I think you maybe already sense that there needs to be some, I don't know, just like anticipation, right? How can I maintain group harmony when sides have grown more entrenched? Great question. To maintain group harmony. Sorry, my pen is trying to die on me too, so it's not going as quickly. Group harmony when sides are more entrenched. All right, I've added that for you. Thank you, Coral. Or should I stay away? All right, so let's see what we've got for Nat. This is the Spanish Tarot. Did I not say hello to Rachel? I hope I did. Hello, Rachel. I thought I did. And thank you, Nat, for being a member. What do we have from Nat's father, please? Three of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. The Three of Swords is in the reverse. This is about wanting to get you to take some action here. Seven of Cups in the reverse, the Tower. There's some change that you have made. I feel like this is in the past. This change that you've made, I feel, is like the first of maybe three specifically things that need to happen in order for Dad to feel like you are in a safe situation or your life is going to be easier. So this feels to me like it's like cheering you on, like you've done a lot of what you need to, or you did like the most difficult part, but like we still got a couple other things. I feel like you still got two other things that your dad wants you to do. Five of Cups in the reverse. The Magician. I feel like he's like a cheerleader, just like, you can do this. I know there's one other thing, like, gotta do this, and then there's that, and then you can like take a breather. Then you can like chill out for a little bit. But I feel this is encouraging you to remember what you have as far as resources available to you. He sees you as Magician Empress. Very capable, very loving. So you did one major thing regarding financial or like living security, like what you need for you or what you need for, you know, if you've got a family that you're living with. This is like you got two other things and they're not as difficult as the first two, or the first one that you've already done. But world is in the reverse. You're not done yet. It's like, yay, you did it. You did a good job. But like, you can't quite stop yet. There's just a little bit more work. He would. It's true. So Queen of Wands in the reverse. Is this about insecurity or like procrastination? Yeah, he's saying you're taking too long on something. Maybe you feel like you can't do it. Maybe you feel like you're not ready. Look, I'm going to relate to this for a second to try to help you in case this isn't coming through clearly. Like, I've been trying to like make sure that I have everything, like all my ducks in a row before I launch the Etsy, like so you can actually like order my candles on Etsy, because I really want to make sure that it goes well, that I anticipate things, that it's a good customer experience, all of this. And sometimes we get so caught up in the what if that, what if this, I can't hit submit yet because I'm nervous. This is saying there's something here, and I feel like it's 2 things out of 3. You've already done 1. You gotta at least get started on that second one because he's getting like anxious. So you have the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Page of Wands in the reverse. I feel like this is encouraging you, like you don't have any other work you need to do. It's time to like just go for it. All right, I hope that helps. I do feel like this is someone who's rooting for you, wanting to see things like progress for you. Okay, let's go with, we'll go with the Crow Tarot. And we've got Coral up next. How to maintain group harmony when sides are more entrenched. Or should I stay away? So let's just say, should Coral stay away from it and get that out of the way first? This is saying the most important thing is to not align yourself too closely. You cannot pick a side, in other words. 3 of Wands in the reverse, the Star in the reverse. So Coral, this is not your battle. This is not your, like maybe you can influence to a positive degree, like we should be forgiving, we should do this, we want to be tolerant, blah, blah, blah. But as far as the actual, like, what I'm seeing in my mind is like Hatfield McCoys. Like, we got so much history. I hate this about you. I hate this about you. I hate this about you. Like, I'm not even like contemplating how we could fix things. I just want to make you look bad. You're exactly right using the word entrenched. There's multiple things that have happened, and I'm real pleased with how mad I am at you for being who you are, and I don't want to change that. So you would not have much luck convincing people to change or let go of these closely held beliefs. It's like I've become, like this is part of my identity, right? So we have the 7 of Wands, the 9 of Swords in the reverse, and the King of Pentacles in the reverse. You have to be like the unbiased observer. Almost like a, how do I say that? By showing that you have the ability to care for people regardless of whether or not they align with your beliefs. And I think you have to do this delicately because you cannot say, well, I agree with this side. Maybe you don't agree with one side. Maybe you feel like things are not that complex or not that black and white. It's a little bit more complicated, right? But by showing them that you know how to interact with people that do not have the same beliefs without it being petty or disrespectful, it's a very subtle way to handle this, but like you really cannot be like, hey, you, stop being heartless. Hey, you, start caring about that person. They're going to be like, okay, sure. I'm not going to take you seriously. So it's about leading by example, but in a subtle way, because if you identify with one group more than the other, it will only add more problems. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. This is not your work. This is not your battle to fight. You can only lead by example and show them that there is a benefit to being able to be tolerant and learn from people that might have different perspectives. There's not a lot of open energy here. I feel like most people are just kind of like, I'm right and I can prove it. Let me just find the right website. Not that one. Not that one. This one says I'm right. And I'm just going to tag on to the end of your reading by saying, please be cautious if you are using ChatGPT. It is an engagement platform. This is something that is designed to agree with you to make sure that you continue to engage with it, because the more you use it, the more their product seems viable. So please be cautious with how you leverage AI and whether or not you get stuck in a loop where somebody is just kind of confirming things for you because, hey, gosh, I really like you. I want to keep talking to you. It's kind of like, I used to bartend. Do I want to keep somebody sitting at the bar and chat them up so they spend more money, right? There have been a lot of people who hit on bartenders thinking that they have some special like connection there. It's really just somebody who's trying to make sure that if it's a slow night, they make some good tips. You know what I mean? So this feels to me like we've got some people who are not really open to learning that they might be wrong about something, or very like, I'm on a team and this is the team that I want to be on. But you do still have the ability to have a subtle positive influence. I hope that helps. Yes, I challenge you all to make sure that you have access to being inspired by somebody who might see things a little bit differently or be able to add to your perspective instead of just, duplicate it. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm getting hungry. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And I will see you on the next reading.